The mail never stops.
Here comes the mailman.
Mail time.
Mail time. Mail time. The mail's here. When you control the mail, you control information.
If there's something strange in your league, who you gonna call? SleeperBot!
Welcome, sleepers. September 14th. Yes. If you're listening to us live, it's the 13th, though. I got Professor Chris Moore here with me. Welcome. How's it going, buddy? How'd you do in your leagues?
8-4 this week, so pretty happy with that.
Very nice. How about you, Dirty Jobs? How'd you do?
I finished off 7-4 this week. Also very happy with that, especially with that devastating fantasy weekend.
Oh man, it was bad. 4 seemed to be the magic number because I lost 4-2. I won 9 though, so I think I won the numbers game a little bit right here with Professor Chris here. All right, well, we got a lot of questions. We're just gonna dive right into this Mailsack. It is full. We got some information for you. So Triple AG, he wants to know how much fab for Kobe Fleener. What's up, guys?
I would say probably 4 to 5%, $4 or $5 is all I'd probably throw at that, and you'll probably pick them up.
Chris?
Yeah, I was thinking about this a little bit earlier. I would say maybe 8 to 10, whatever you feel comfortable with, because I think you're still going to get 2 really good weeks out of him. Plus, he had a whole year of chemistry building with Breeze. So,
yeah, I agree with Dirty here. About $4 to $5. All right, Mo Vic Mixon. What's his future, Chris?
Mixon. I like the guy. I think he takes over the backfield by week 4, and then it's completely his by week 7.
What about you?
And I disagree. I just don't like the way that they're running that offense over there, and I think they're going to continue to use Jeremy Hill and Giovanni Bernard.
Yeah, I agree with you there too. I think it's just a cluttered backfield. Maybe you see a little bit later on. All right, Schmidt-Kug. Should he hang on to Stafford or Winston? Dirty Jobs.
I'm Winston all day here. I like his future.
Winston. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Winston as well. Stafford's as good as he's ever going to get. Winston's still improving, and he seems a little more consistent.
Yeah, he could definitely be a top 4 quarterback. A lot of people saying that he could be in that Aaron Rodgers range. So we're going to hope and wait and see. All right, Amir Nig. My Jordan Howard and Martavis Bryant for Keenan Allen and Jay Ajayi? Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Gap between Keenan Allen and Martavis Bryant is bigger than the gap between Jordan Howard and Jay Ajayi.
I completely agree with that assessment right there. It's perfect.
Sure. All right, Con 22. He's got Carson Wentz on the table or Kenny Galladay. Which one?
It's Chris Carson.
All right, Chris Carson. Chris Carson.
I'm going Galladay because I think he's a guy that you can play now. Chris Carson would be a better stash for a wait and see.
Yeah, I agree there. Chris Carson all the way.
Yeah, no, he actually said Galladay, but I'm with you, Hus. I like Chris Carson. I think he's going to get a lot of use in that backfield straight out the gate. So,
yeah, definitely stash that guy, even if he doesn't produce for you a week 1. All right, Money Stack 619, Flash Gordon. Are we going to see a return, guys? We've got about 3 weeks away. What do you think?
I just don't see him. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, I mean, like he might come back. It's still not, out of the cards, but, he's not going to be worth picking up right now until we do know anything. I don't even know if he's really applied for reinstatement. Has he?
Yeah, he definitely reapplied back over the summer when he didn't get it. So he did reapply. And I believe he has a opportunity to in the next couple of weeks. Is it did he or now I'm not sure if he has the opportunity to do it in 3 weeks or if the commissioner gets to decide in 3 weeks.
I don't know. He's not worth picking. The reinstate comes up in 3 weeks. Either way, there's too much speculation around it. No, don't grab him yet.
All right, Bison 8000. What percentage points are you giving Howard and Cohen if it's a PPR league, Mike?
I'm going to say probably a 60-40 split, maybe 70-30, somewhere in that window. I believe they'll probably still go to Howard more.
Professor.
Yeah, I lean more towards the 75-25. Howard's definitely the guy Cohen's a nice piece, but it's Howard.
Yeah, definitely Howard there, but I still think you could use Cohen. Definitely, I would say maybe about 35, 65. All right, Ricci, half point PPR. He's got Buck Allen or Jaquiz Rogers. Which one do we like more this week, Mike?
I like Jaquiz Rogers. I like him at home this week.
Chris?
Yeah, Jaquiz as well.
Quizzy. All right, Jin RSVO, better stash, Kamara Cup. What do you think, Chris?
I think Cooper Kupp. I mean, he's a guy that you can play right now. Kamara is a guy that if you're looking just to stash and you have a solid roster and you need a running back, maybe go with Kamara. But if you're looking for a guy that you can play now, it's Cooper Kupp.
Sure, wholeheartedly. What do you think, Mike?
I like Cooper Kupp. I think that relationship between him and Jared Goff is the real deal.
All right, you got 3 for Kupp, so go ahead and move on with Kupp. You got G Click. He's got Chris Hogan. He's got Powell. So who do we like this week, Chris?
Powell for me.
Powell for me also.
I'm going to go Hogan here against the Saints. So 2-1 there. Go Powell. BMAC 8. I lost DJ, picked up Cohen. Would you start Howard and Cohen, given Cohen's receiving chops? What do you say, Mike?
I wouldn't start both of them. No, I just couldn't do that.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm not starting both of them either. If you have Howard, you play Howard. Cohen is not someone we've seen one game from a rookie. That's not enough confidence for me for an entire backfield to play both guys.
12 targets, PPR league. You're definitely going to start him. He's definitely going to be a flex worthy. So no problems at all.
Yeah, I disagree.
I love both. So you got 2-1 there. Final say so. I picked up Kerwin Williams, Kenny Golladay, and Tariq Cohen. Good investment or not? I'm going to guess you're going to say no on this, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to get basically the top 3 waiver wire picks of the week, but at the same time, to get all 3 guys, you had to drop at least one decent player who's probably better than those 3. So it's great that you got them, but I hope you didn't have to drop anybody important like I think you may have had to.
That's true. That's an interesting point. We don't know what this team looks like. What about you, Mike? What do you think about this?
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly the perfect take right there. I hope you didn't have to pay too much or blow your whole entire fab out on your week 1. If you didn't have to, then that's the most killingest waiver wire I've ever seen. So,
yeah, I mean, these are all fine ads. These are all the top ads. Definitely a good investment if you're able to do something with it. Possibly trade some of them away while they still have hype. That's my take on it. So, chin check. Value of Doug Martin. I own Jaquiz, so I'm trying to see what I can get for the offer of the Martin owner. What are we thinking?
Whew. You're gonna have to pay a pretty penny. I think. I think if you drafted Doug Martin, it's because you know what he's capable of.
Chris, what should he offer to the Martin owner?
You're not going to get anything better than a wide receiver 3 or maybe a bench piece at best. The guy's only going to get 3 weeks out of him, so he's not worth a whole lot.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I got Fig. He wants to know, is Langford worth a stash with Woodhead going down? I'm going to say no. What about you, Chris?
No, not even close.
Mike?
Yeah, no.
Unless this is a super, super deep league, 16 team, I guess go ahead and take a flyer, but no. Bear down 85. Andrew Luck on waivers. Wow, yeah. Grab and stash him. Does he return to form? Chris?
Yes, grab and stash.
Mike?
Yeah. I think if anything, you might want to grab him just in case they make a move with him.
Yeah, you don't see a top 4 guy every day just sitting there on waivers with his googly ass. All right, Icon, Jaquiz, or Tevin Coleman, PPR. He's got Hunt as well.
Jaquiz for me.
I'm going to go Coleman here. I think he just provides a slightly more upside.
Well, it's good that we're not agreeing on a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Well, you got 2-1. You guys seem to be agreeing a lot more than me.
Which is usually the opposite.
Yeah. That's true. That is very true. That is very true.
I'm usually the oddball off alone on Garbage Island.
Until we talk about Chris Thompson and Zack Zenner, then Hus and I are going to disagree even more.
Well, we are recording on the 13th, so that has something to do with it. All right. In it to win it for me. Who else would you be in it to win it for? Huh? Okay, Mike Gillislee or James White? How well do we know Coach Belichick?
We know Coach Belichick well enough to know that we have no idea how to answer this question.
What about you, Mike?
I think that was the perfect answer right there.
If I had to take one of them, it would be Gillislee for the touchdowns. But I think in Amendola's absence, James White steps up.
Yeah, I agree with you both there. You just don't know Bellatrix. Drone strike. He's fearing toes for Jordan Reed. He's got some lingering issues. Should he drop him for Clay or Fleener the rest of the season? I think this is a big overreaction. What do you think, Chris?
No, you don't drop Jordan Reed.
Mike?
Yeah, no, you never. You drafted him too high. No way. You can drop somebody else to get Clay or Fleener.
Yeah, the only way he should be dropped is if he gets a season-ending injury or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're that worried about him, just trade him away. And get something for him. Don't drop him. User-friendly. Who should I drop? It's a 12-team league, standard. CJ Procise, Rex Burkhead. Wait for one more week to decide.
It's probably safe to drop Burkhead.
Yeah, I just dropped him in a couple leagues.
Yeah, I don't think I'd really want to drop CJ Procise right now. He seemed to get some activity. So.
Yeah, he's definitely got a role in the passing game there. Year of. Will Texans DSD rebound? Or do I wait and stream?
Well, some people were taking the Texans D as the number one defense overall.
Yeah.
So if you were one who maybe spent like an 8th round pick on them, don't drop them yet. I mean, they had an awful week, but they still have some really good people on that defense.
Yeah, they typically say wait, at least a couple of weeks to see how your team shapes out. So especially if you spent high capital, I wouldn't do that. What about you, Mike?
I'm looking right now to see it's just okay. So it's nothing bad. It was just tape. I was thinking, did he get hurt? So yeah, no, they'll rebound. They'll be fine. You got JJ Watt coming back. He's a beast. You got Clowney there. He's a beast.
All right,
no Cushing
in there. Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah,
10-game suspension for Brian Cushing.
Yeah, lost him.
That is
a big one. All right, Euro snuck in a second question. Does he start Kelvin Benjamin, Sanders, or Thielen this week? What do you think, Chris?
I got a Thielen. That's tonight's.
So
yeah, Adam Thielen, especially if it's PPR. If it's standard, I might lean towards Benjamin, but PPR, Thielen picked up right where he left off.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. What about you, Mike?
I think that you're gonna. I really liked what I saw out of the Broncos. I can say that. I really like what Emmanuel Sanders brings to the table. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to lean more towards Thielen because man, he was getting used too.
All right, you got 3 for Thielen there, so go ahead and go Thielen. Mike the Bears 07 half-point PPR pick 2 this week. He's got Eifert, Wallace, Marvin Jones, and he's got Paul Richardson. Which 2 should he pick, Mike?
I'd go with Eifert and I'd say Eifert and Jones here.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd say Eifert and Wallace. The Ravens are playing the Browns, so Eifert and Wallace for me.
All right, you got I was gonna just say like they didn't look that bad. All right, well you got Zodi. He's in the PPR league, and it's week 2. Yes, we know that. Macklin, Abdullah, Cohen, Davis. Which 2 should he pick? Or actually, he needs one. Which one should he pick?
Oh, it's definitely Macklin.
Yeah,
Mike.
Yeah, for sure, Macklin, without a doubt.
Yeah, I agree with you, Macklin.
I still can't believe the hate that this guy was getting. Like when it was draft season, like getting this guy in the 8th round, I'm like, he is going to put up, 4th round numbers for you. Macklin is so good, and I think he should be in your lineup every single week.
Yeah, he was certainly a value for you on draft day.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you were able to get him in those portions of the round, you definitely won, and he probably plugged him in, and he helped you win this week.
Yep.
All right. Rick Sanchez C137. Should I drop Burkhead for Marlon Mack? Yes.
The Burke headache. I like
Burke
that.
Headache.
Yeah,
because that is awesome. I love it.
Yes.
Burke headache. He just glossed over that.
Marlon Mack seems to already have kind of a role.
Done that, I hope.
Yeah. It's a headache back there. Yeah, go ahead and pick up Mack. Are we all in agreement?
Yeah, I love it.
All right. In Baldy, start which tight end? Half-point full point. He's got Hunter Henry versus Miami, Evan Engram versus Detroit, Fleener versus New England, FYI, Hunter Henry, yeah, we know he didn't have one target versus Denver.
Fleener.
I like Ingram here.
Fleener. I'm going to agree with you there. Chris.
All right. And all is right with the world.
Raymond, 333. I grabbed Buck Allen last night. Nice. Also got Terrence West. This is all on my bench. Who do you see taking over at the running back? Allen or West? Or do you see a committee? I see a committee, but it's not a bad one. What about you, Chris? What do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely a committee, but if I had to say who is going to get more snaps, I think it's going to be West.
I disagree. I think it's going to be Buck Allen's backfield to lose. I think I agree with the committee part, but I think it's going to be larger timeshare Buck.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's better for out of the backfield, but game script had a whole lot to do with that.
Right. I definitely agree with you there. And there's also, talk that they might be moving in some Michael Campanaro guy. He played kind of well last year. So we might see more of him in that passing role. He's got that small Woodhead kind of body type. He's really speedy. So that's not good news. So that's not good news for Allen. But I still see them splitting. As far as a percentage, I would say 50-50. I think I like both of them. You can start either one, I think. That's one I wouldn't want to start both of, though.
No, you wouldn't want to start both of them. But if you had to flex one, I would go West. Who's goes West, and then Mike goes Allen.
Yeah. Yahoo 801. Saints running back for PPR. Which one? Ingram, Kamara, or AP?
Ingram.
Yep.
All right. Go Ingram. He's the safest guy there. Ameer snuck in another one. How worried about Howard are you with Cohen merging? Not at all.
No, Howard's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yep. He'll still get his workload.
Yeah. Seaball offer as offer as a trade John Brown or Jameson Crowder for Devontae Parker to PPR.
I'd take Crowder over Parker, but not John Brown.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that there.
So if you're trying to trade for Parker, offer John Brown.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right, 100%. Metal Winger.
Get it.
Yeah, if you can, that's going to be tough. Metal Winger. Will Mac take Gore's job? I don't think so.
Nope, it's Gore's job to lose, not Mac's job to win.
I think he will about mid-season.
All right. Well, you got 2-1 there. No.
Here we go.
Dirty jobs. Yeah. There we go. We're getting back on schedule here. 0 to hero. Rest of season. Fleener versus Clay. Rest of season. Corey Davis versus Cooper Kupp. Who do you like? Give me Fleener versus Clay first. Mike.
I like Clay here. There's just not a whole lot of options over there in Buffalo. Very familiar face. So.
And Corey Davis versus Cooper Kupp. Who do you like?
I like Cooper Kupp there. Like I said, that connection. I really like that connection.
Me too. I agree with the Cooper, and I would say Fleener there rest of the season. What about you, Chris?
I want to take a second real quick and say that, in my opinion, it is way too early to ask rest of season questions. Week 1 just ended. This happened last year on SleeperBot as well. After the first week, who do I start rest of the season? And I was like, it's so hard to predict the next 15 weeks. So
I guess he's asking who should he keep rest of the season. I guess that would make more sense.
Yeah, I guess I would go with Charles Clay and Cooper Kupp as well.
Okay. All right. Big Blue 212. Carson over Abdullah or McCaffrey this week?
Nope.
Mike?
I'd go over Abdullah with him, but definitely not McCaffrey. That's crazy talk.
No, Abdullah got way too much work. He had 15 rushes and 2 pass attempts. So yeah, I like the work he gets. I like him as a flex. Fantasy Chan, trade away Crowell for Keenan Allen, Baldwin or Hopkins. It's a standard league.
Yeah, I would if you can get any one of those guys. I do really like Isaiah Crowell, but those are all elite wide receivers. They can all put up top 5 numbers any given week.
Mike?
I draw the line at Doug Baldwin and DeAndre Hopkins, but I completely agree with the rest of that. I think I'd rather have Crowell than Hopkins, but the other two I'd definitely rather have more than Crowell.
I think I'd rather have Keenan Allen and Hopkins more just off of sheer volume. Hopkins led, this past week targets. He had 16 targets. Keenan Allen had, I believe he had 9. And Baldwin, he's going to see his targets, but now you're starting to see Lockett. You're starting to see Paul Richardson. So I like Crowell. I would target Keenan and Hopkins in a standard. Okay, King O'Shan, sign Buck Allen and cut Abdullah?
Nope.
No, don't do that. Try to drop someone else if you can. I mean, I like Buck Allen. We all like Buck Allen, but don't cut Abdullah. We just talked about how much work he got.
If Abdullah is your worst player, just sit back and enjoy your ride.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. All right, Wilson 27. What's the least amount I can give to get David Johnson?
Wilson 27. Good to see you. You were in the Pro-Am and also my listener league.
Also mine.
And I'm wondering if he is asking for this because he has David Johnson in my listener league.
So what would you give him?
We were negotiating trades. I offered him Jeremy Hill. He countered with Isaiah Crowell, and I was like, well, I can't.
Oh, man. Yeah, no.
Now with the news of, as of earlier today on ESPN, the DJ might be out 11 to 15 weeks.
Right.
So if he's out 15 weeks, that's, fantasy championship
that's the season.
time.
Yeah. Even when he comes back, he might still be a little sore.
I offered Hill, but I'm definitely not trading anything more than that for David Johnson.
What about you, Mike? What's the most, I guess the least amount I can give to get David Johnson?
Oh man, it's down there. He's out for the season basically. I mean, he's not coming back this year. And it'd be nice if he did, but I don't know. I just don't have a good answer to that question. I very little. You shouldn't have to give very much to get David Johnson right now.
Yeah, I just think if you're going to give something so small, the owner's probably just going to keep David Johnson, especially if he has an IR spot. So right. you probably have to give something decent if you want David Johnson, and like not decent as like I don't know, maybe Tevin Coleman might be way too much, but like maybe something like that. And if your team is just stacked and he's sitting on your bench, I would say something like Tevin Coleman maybe, but I think that's way too much, Wilson.
Yeah, my biggest fear with David Johnson is that even if let's say he misses 12 weeks, the Cardinals are probably going to be out of any chance of getting into the playoffs. And so when he does come back, how much work are they really going to be willing to give him?
Yeah, and he specializes catching, so it's a risk, and so it's like when he comes back, is it gonna, that's my worry. Yeah, tough. That's tough. I don't know if you're gonna really be able to get him unless you really want to go get him, Wilson. So go ahead. R Bread 80. Zay Jones' future worth holding on to?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he has a decent future there as long as they can pull it together in Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't drop him yet if you've got him on your team.
Yeah, I wouldn't drop him just yet. Kamikaze picked up Riddick and Thompson and dropped Terrence West.
No, it's a question. Do I pick up Riddick or Thompson and drop West?
All right, yeah.
No. I would keep West.
Yeah, I'd keep West.
I also would keep West there.
All right. Juice, not really sure how to pronounce that. Is Hearns worth picking up on waivers? If you're hurting at wide receiver, he was targeted. 4 times he matched Lee's, but he did catch 3 of them. So I guess, sure. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I'd rather have Marquise Lee, but Hearns will be a good target for Bortles. Now, whether those targets will be on target or not is a completely different story.
Right.
But I would rather have Marquise Lee than Hearns.
Mike?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't think. I just don't like Jacksonville. They're a dumpster fire waiting to happen, I think.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Like that's just where I'm at with it right now. Like, wow, Fournette was awesome.
Yeah. True words were never spoken. I got Jared Cook and Terrell Pryor for DJ, Fleener, and Rashard Matthews. Sounds good? Alka0209 wants to know.
Let's see. So let's just take DJ out of the equation.
Right.
So it's just Jared Cook and Terrell Pryor for Fleener and Matthews. And I think I would take Fleener and Matthews.
I think I take Cook and Pryor. I think Pryor's upside is still there. Cook, he's, looked decent, so I'm going to take Cook and Pryor. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I'm going to completely go opposite, and I'm going to go. Oh, he got Jared Cook.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, go Cook and Pryor here.
Yeah, I do like Rashard, and I do like Fleener, but I think Pryor has, higher upside. So
I think Cook's kind of a hidden sleeper out there. I think he's actually going to do pretty good.
Yeah, me too.
Pryor's definitely the best player in this trade for sure. But I like Fleener better than Cook this year as well.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that point. G-Click, start Winston or Mariota this week. What are you doing, Mike?
I like Winston at home.
I agree. What about you, Chris?
I think I would go with Mariota. They're playing the Jaguars, who they did just completely shut down the Texans, but Texans are working with Tom Savage and a rookie. So I think I would go with Mariota.
All right. Dave Wave 42, is Luck worth rostering? Yes, we answered this question earlier. We believe he's a top 4 quarterback once he's able to come back. So yes, he's definitely worth rostering. Schmutkug, what is your take on Crowder after week 1? I say be patient. He had that hip thing. Maybe it lingers another week, but I think he's still going to be a guy that's going to get a lot of targets. I wouldn't worry about Ryan Grant too much. What about you, Chris?
No, I really wouldn't either. I mean, the guy still had 7 targets. He only caught 3 of them, but still had 7 targets. Another week getting that leg a little bit healthier. I think he's going to be okay.
Right. It's week 1, guys. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you've got these teams out there that they come out and they look like just total messes, but you get that 1 week out under your belt, and then you come back, you reorganize, people start making better decisions. And I think that's what the case is going to be here with Washington. I think they're going to get back on track, and I think he's going to be a fantastic player to have on your team.
Yeah, for sure. So don't bail on Crowder just yet. Who will be the better start week 2 in a standard? He's got Watkins against Norman, and he's got Kupp. So who should he start, Watkins or Kupp?
I'll start Watkins over Kupp, no matter who the cornerback is, every single time.
I'm going to start Kupp, just build off the rapport until I see more of it from Watkins, Goff and Watkins. I want to start Kupp. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, Kupp all the way here. I stressed it like 20 times already. I love that relationship they have, and I think it's just going to continue to grow and get better.
For sure.
I mean, Sammy Watkins still 5 catches on 5 targets for 58 yards. That's not a bad game.
No, not at all.
Not terrible. That's true.
Yeah, but if you're just looking in comparison for who Goff seems to like more, I guess, this is a standard. I still like Kupp though. I still like Kupp. I just think that he's going to see most of the targets. So ball never lie. I'm very limited at running back. I currently am stashing Foreman, Kamara, and Carson. Which of these guys do you think will become relevant faster? Thanks.
Carson, all the way. I like Carson's activity already.
This is rough.
Yeah, Carson. I'm going to say Carson here. I know some people were saying Foreman might get some carries. Bill O'Brien said he's going to get some carries, but that's some carries. He's had fumbling problem in college. So, and he fumbled the ball, over preseason, so, I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
Ball never lie is he's playing the waiver wire weeks before these players are supposed to be playing.
Right. So he's limited. Unfortunately, these guys aren't going to help you.
Limited. If you're limited and you have to play this week, it would be Carson.
Yeah. All right. So we all agree Carson there. Schmutka. This guy's got like 4 or 5 questions. All right, man. We're going to have to charge you next time. 4 or 5 questions. All right. Professor Chris.
He called me out.
Wants to know from you. He's got the spotlight on you. What should he do with Crowder? Try to flip him, hang on to him, hope it turns around, and he needs to drop one of Macklin, Doug Martin, Rashard Matthews, Buck Allen, or Crowder for a kicker.
I'd drop Buck Allen for a kicker.
Yeah, same here.
He's the least fantasy useful player on that roster.
I think depending on your man, I wouldn't want to drop any of these guys. I would try to do a 2-for-1 if you can. If you can't pull it off, drop Buck right before the game if you're able to, so no one else is able to snag him, and then grab a kicker. And then we did speak about Crowder earlier. So do you want to clarify a little bit more for Schmidt-Cook, Professor Chris? Flip him, hang on.
No, if you can trade him, I absolutely would. Because if Macklin, Martin, Rashard Matthews, and Crowder is your bench, that must mean you have some pretty strong starters. So if you can flip Crowder, go ahead and do that. But, if you can't, you can be okay dropping Javorius Allen. You don't really need Javorius Allen more than you would want Crowder.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that there. All right, should I play Terrence West, Cooper Kupp, or Sanders in my flex? It's a standard scoring. And John Silver wants to know. Mike?
Manuel Sanders in that group.
I'm going to say West.
Yeah, standard scoring leans me towards Terrence West.
All right. Yes. All is definitely right with the world. What's my Nelson week 2 PPR flex? Abdullah or Buck Allen? I'm going to say Abdullah here.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. I like Abdullah.
Yeah,
just a
Abdullah.
hair, so.
All right. Chong Kong. Is Josh Gordon worth stashing, given that Montgomery comments, or is this the same old song and dance?
Not worth stashing.
Not worth stashing yet.
I just don't think he's worth stashing. I said this last year when a lot of people wanted to stash him. We've been stashing for years now. He hasn't been playing football in years. So I just don't think he's going to be that relevant, especially with the quarterback there. It's, he's got to build some rapport. It's a
good thing Max isn't on here helping answer this question. Because then we'd have a 10-minute argument about why Josh Gordon is elite.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Max. Andrade, 21. Someone dropped Martellus Bennett. Is he worth an ad? I have Rudolph and Eifert already.
Nope.
Yeah, you got those guys already. You're set. Mike?
You never, unless it's a 2 tight end league, you never, ever have to roster 3 tight ends. And Rudolph and Eifert are going to be better than Bennett this season anyway. Rodgers doesn't use the tight ends. I know people say that, he's never had one like Martellus Bennett before. And it's like, he's never used any of them. Even he's not using, Bennett got 6 targets?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me pull up the target leaders.
Yeah, he only 3 catches, 43 yards, and 6 targets. So it's not like he was out there lighting it up. I think Eifert and Rudolph are both better than Martellus Bennett for fantasy.
Yeah, you don't need 3.
That just adds a quandary. And like you said, if it's a 2 tight end league, then maybe that's worth it. But
yeah, unless you're Prophet Hus, you don't need 3. I love me some tight ends. I know that's. All right, Diego Gax, help me. Stafford or Cousins? You need some help.
Cousins.
I like Cousins. I think he bounces back this week.
And I'm going to go Stafford here, Gax. All right, pick 3. Rashard Matthews, Marvin Jones, Matt Forte, Tevin Coleman, John Brown, Latavius Murray, or Chris Carson. Pick 3 of those guys. Mike.
Matthews, Coleman, and Carson.
Chris.
I guess this would be helpful if we knew what the scoring was.
Yeah,
I think I would go with Rashard Matthews, Tevin Coleman, and John Brown. If that's John Brown. If it's Jaron Brown, I'd go Marvin Jones.
Yeah, I'm going to go Rashard, Marvin Jones, and Coleman.
Yeah, I'd like to actually change my answer to that, too. I like Marvin Jones over Carson. I like Carson a lot. I'm all hyped up about it.
I do like Carson. I just
we can tell, man.
All right, he has some energy Carson drinks before he came on the show.
Exactly.
All right, from Fantasy Life app, we got some questions here from some good people there. Rostering Luck and DJ is killing me. I need to make room for a kicker. So who do you suggest to drop from the guys he has above in his 10-team league? And it's kind of tiny.
Yeah, I can read it.
You guys can read that.
Andrew Luck, Eli Manning, DJ, Gurley, Hunt, Gillislee, Ingram, Coleman, and Buck Allen. And then he has Hilton, Crabtree, Diggs, Watkins, Galladay. And tight end is Jack Doyle. I would drop Buck Allen.
I drop Jack Doyle for now.
But then he doesn't have a tight end.
Oh, okay.
So then he's got to draft. He's got to drop someone for a tight end.
Okay, yeah. He only has one tight end there. Yeah. Drop Buck Allen before right before.
Yeah, it's like, I know you just picked him up, but he's your worst player.
Right.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's a 10-team league, you know.
And hopefully, maybe you have an IR spot. You can put DJ on there and add a kicker for free.
That's true. So hopefully that's your case. All right, Gio wants to know, what's Doug Martin value now when he returns? Oh, sorry, versus when he returns. So what is he worth now versus when he returns? Chris?
I think as of right now, his value is maybe around a wide receiver 3. When he returns, if he has a bad game, that's going to drop and you can buy him cheap. But Doug Martin's an RB1. He puts up RB1 numbers when he's healthy. And, coming in, starting week 5, so he hasn't even played the first month. He's super fresh. If you want Doug Martin, you're going to pay for him now so you don't have to overpay for him later.
Yeah, I definitely agree too. He looked great all camp. He looked great on Hard Knocks. They let go of the rookie there. So I really like Doug Martin. I agree with everything that you said there, Chris. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, no, I'm on the same exact page with that. I mean, you're going to get him now if he goes off the way he can go off, you're going to get him now for a lot cheaper, and you're going to be able to get him in 3 weeks.
Definitely. Hang on. Let me dig in this sack here. And it is totally empty.
Nope, we got one more, actually.
Oh, it was one there at the bottom there. You want to go ahead and take it away?
Andrade 21 says, who do I start? Hopkins, Tyreek, Marshall, Diggs, Garcon. And can we assume that he can start 2 of these guys? Because there are 4 guys there I would start. Hopkins, Tyreek, Marshall, Diggs, Garcon. I would go, if I'm picking 2, it would be Hopkins and Tyreek. If I'm picking 3, I would add Diggs in there.
I agree wholeheartedly. What do you say, Mike?
I like Diggs and Tyreek over a little bit over, but the same exact 3.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, that sack is empty now. I feel nice and good after emptying the sack. How about you guys? How you feeling after week 1? Week 2 of the sack.
I'm feeling like we're not quite done yet.
No,
I just reached down in the bag and I found a couple more questions.
All right.
I know.
It's beautiful.
It's like a never-ending fountain. It's the bottomless fountain of Mailsack questions.
I'm not gonna lie, that refresh rate impresses me.
All right,
this is from SC Chiefs fan from Fantasy Life app. I'm a Zeke owner. How important is it to trade for McFadden? Very important, because the NFL has appealed the appeal of the appeal, and the suspension might come back. So it's important to have McFadden.
Yeah, it's kind of important. I would say, there's still some timelines that's going to stretch out. But if you're the Zeke owner, I don't know. I mean, Alfred Morris did, McFadden, I should say, he did get the healthy scratch there. So that was interesting. And you saw, Rod Smith and Alfred, Morris suited up. So I don't know how important McFadden is. I do like McFadden. I think we're still going to have to wait and see if once I see him mixed in a little bit work, right now, if he's not dressing, he's continues to get a healthy scratch. No, he's not worth trading for. What about you, Mike?
I think Alfred Morris is the handcuff in that backfield, then just because of the work he was getting in this game 1. So, no, I don't think so.
We are going to disagree there. All right, we got 2 questions left. JL2 says, drop Duke Johnson or John Brown for Galladay?
I'd drop Duke Johnson.
I would... I guess I dropped Duke Johnson. I like Duke Johnson. I do. But, for Galladay, sure.
If you need the wide receiver depth, then Duke Johnson. If you don't have any RB depth, I would drop John Brown.
The nice thing about Duke Johnson is he's still a running back, but they're using him as a slot receiver. So that's a nice thing about Johnson, and it'll be nice to see if we get that designation tag where he switched to both.
All right, last question here. JR9 asks, what caliber of running back is worth trading for Devontae Adams? And you know what? The three of us are in running one of the Pro-Am teams together, and we were talking about this today. We have Devontae Adams, and we might be looking to flip him.
I'm going to say maybe, I don't know, like Doug Martin.
Yeah, I was thinking if we could get Martin or maybe Bilal Powell, because we do have Randall Cobb as well.
Yeah.
Maybe Isaiah Crowell. I think you could get Isaiah Crowell right there, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, if we could get Crowell, great. I don't think we could get Crowell, but maybe with all the hype, and Cutler calling him a faster Alshon, maybe a lot of people are, maybe I think Chris and I are a little bit down on him, but maybe the rest of the fantasy community is a little bit higher on him, and we can get Crowell. So
I'll say this as a Crowell owner, if you sent me a trade offer that was just Crowell for Adams straight up, I'm declining that. I'm not countering. I'm not putting a note in it.
Yeah.
So if you can get Crowell, then that's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll try and we'll let you know next show how that went, Mike, if we were able to get it.
Absolutely.
All right, we're done with the sack, but don't worry, guys. You can go ahead and submit questions. Chris, where can they find us, love us, and support us? Send those questions in.
Yeah, you guys can find us on SleeperWire.com. Check out our weekly rankings there. There's a place for you to submit a question to the SleeperWire crew. We get back to you within 24 hours. You can find us all on SleeperBot. Mike is on there at Dirty Jobs. Hus is on there at Prophet Hus, and I am Professor Chris. Fantasy Life app. You can find me at Professor Chris and Hus at Prophet Hus. And then on Twitter, we have at SleeperWire Show, Who's the Prophet, Dr. Kane 21, and at CMOR SleeperWire is mine. And then Professor Chris SW for Instagram.
That's right, guys. So go ahead, now that you know where to find us, go ahead and submit those questions if we weren't able to get to you this week. Answer your questions within 24 hours. That's our promise to you as a sleeper. So go ahead and continue to listen to us. That's all we got for this week. But we'll see you next show. And so long, guys.
Thanks for listening, guys. Peace.
Later, guys.
SleeperWire, the only fantasy football radio show with more than a dozen multi-time, multi-league, multi-year champions. Listen to the SleeperWire show every Friday, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern on Dash Talk.